Hello, 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 everyone. All right, let's make sure we are going live. Hello. Beautiful. There we are. We're going live. Hello, everybody. Let me just mute so it doesn't bother you. Welcome to our Sunday Night Live for this week. Give me a hashtag live if you are here watching with us tonight. And as always, it is a hashtag replay if you are watching after the fact. Always, always, always jump on and let us know, even if you're not watching live. Hi, Justine. Even if you're not watching live, let us know. You can still come back in and ask questions. We'll answer them for you. I'm just going to turn my sound off because I forgot to do that. There we go. So welcome. Hashtag live if you're here. I can see a few of you here. Welcome. Tonight, ladies, we are going to talk about the 3 things that are killing your health goals that you might not even be aware that you're doing. Hi, Meg. And we're going to talk about what we can do instead. Yeah? So what are some of the things that we might be unknowingly doing to kill our health goals and probably our health at its very basic level? And what are some of the things that we can do about it? All right, so we're just going to jump straight in, ladies, because it's a Sunday night. Everybody's busy, right? You probably want to go to bed to start your week. So we're just going to jump straight in. Don't forget, we are absolutely here. Jump into the comments. Let me know. Ask me some questions. I'm just going to slightly move my phone so I can see the comments. Justine's given us a hashtag live. Meg's given us a hashtag live. Welcome, beautiful ladies, on this very cold Sunday night here in Adelaide. All right, so the number one thing that women do, and I'm saying women because men don't tend to do it as much, that is killing our health goals and even our health efforts, is complicating things. Hi, JD. Ladies, we are women. We like to overcomplicate everything. And the thing that we see the most is that when someone is trying to improve their health for whatever reason, they go all in. It's either all or nothing. Now, I'm one of these people that has this mentality, right? It's an all or nothing mentality. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is a tendency to think that if we make changes or that we have to make changes in all areas of our lives to see any sorts of results, right? There is a tendency to think that we have to go all or nothing on every aspect. We reduce calories, we significantly increase our movement, we cut out entire food groups. Oh my goodness, that one kills me, right? We stop going out and socializing because it might ruin our plans. We stop eating foods we love and start eating foods we don't love. Yikes, right? We start brand new gym classes or exercises. We change our life to fit around our new health goals. But the thing is that is all overkill. As women, we naturally overcomplicate things for some reason. And I think maybe we're hardwired to believe that if it is simple, it won't work, right? It's that whole too good to be true mentality maybe. But ladies, it's not, particularly when it comes to your health. In fact, the one thing that I see over and over again with my own health journey, with my clients' health journey, as we see along the way, watching lots of busy working women take control of their health, it is actually the fact that the simpler you can make it, the better the results are. So trying to make massive changes to your health or to the way you live and eat and drink and move and all those sorts of things, making massive changes overnight is actually killing your ability to reach your goals. And this is because it is unsustainable. Hi, everyone. Give us a hashtag live in the comments. Tanya's here. Melinda's here. Hello. So it is actually killing your health goals because it is unsustainable. Now, as a general rule, it is not something that you can do forever, right? When we go all in, when we go in those massive changes, as a general rule, it's because it's not something we can maintain forever, because it is such a drastic paradox to the life that you're already living. This is why things don't stick, ladies, yeah? This is why when we do it and then we hit that perceived goal, the number on the scales, the dress size, all of those things, we then revert back to our original habits and our original lifestyle not long after that. And then what happens? We see our results reverse and we find ourselves back at square one or worse. I'm super curious. Who has this happened to before? Yeah? Who's worked so hard for a goal in their health only to get there and then find that not long after they revert back and things start to reverse back to where you once started? I'd love to know in the chat. Let me know. Here's something that I have found. The all or nothing approach to your health is actually doing more harm than good. Unless you have been told by a specialist, right, specifically by a specialist, that you need to make massive changes all at once, or you're going to see significant impact on your health or your mortality, then my suggestion would be to stop doing all of it and focus on a better way to reach your goals. Now, will slowing down and not doing everything all at once maybe take a little longer to reach a goal? Maybe. Maybe not, right? You never know. Will it then be forever? Yeah, most likely, yeah. Because when you go all in on everything all at once, contrary to the current lifestyle that you're leading, it doesn't stick forever, yeah? We established that a little bit earlier on. When you take your time, though, when you take the simple approach, when you actually build the habits into your current lifestyle, it means that you will see long-term, permanent results. And that tendency to revert back to square one is almost eliminated. I'm going to check the comments, ladies. I do have to move my phone a little bit to do that. Yep, Meg lost 25 kilos, then had to have a hysterectomy. Oh, I need to move my phone completely to see these comments. Yeah, then struggled to really get back into it. Absolutely, Meg. Hi, Melinda. There's a few hashtag lives here. Beautiful. Yeah. So it has absolutely happened, right? And it does. It happens over and over again. I see it over and over again. You know, beautiful, gorgeous women working their literal asses off to reach a goal or reach a dress size. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Catherine. And then they get there and then we celebrate and we feel good or we feel strong or whatever it is that we feel. And then we revert back and we start to undo it all. And quite often we find ourselves back worse than where we were when we started. So, how do we reach our goals without overcomplicating things, right? Decide on one thing to change, on one thing to implement that you can fit into your lifestyle and focus on that until it becomes a habit, right? Where focus goes, energy flows. Pick something that is going to improve your health without having a drastic impact on your everyday life, right? So let's break that down a little bit. I'm going to give you 3 examples of what it is that I actually mean here. So instead of cutting out all sugar completely, see where you can reduce added sugars in your everyday eating, right? And by doing this, when you go out, when you celebrate a birthday or something like that, eating a piece of cake or having some ice cream or having a biscuit with a friend over a beautiful cup of tea or whatever it is that you do, you actually won't have to say no because you're not living by the all or nothing rule. You're finding that balanced lifestyle and you know that for the rest of the time, for the 9 to 5 and most other days of the week, you're not having any added sugar. So when it comes to a moment like that, you indulge, you enjoy, and you don't feel guilty about it. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Beck. This is the trick, ladies, yeah? So instead of cutting out all sugar completely, because that is not sustainable long term and it's not good for your social life, cut out added sugars as much as you can during the day. See where you can look at your diet now and maybe tweak cutting out a little bit of extra sugar. Maybe there's extra sugar in your coffee or, you know, you're having lots of biscuits during the week or ice cream, whatever it is. Now, another example, I said I'd give you 3. Another example is instead of going all out for gym classes and doing 5 times a week because, you know, I've got to lose 10 kilos, I'm going to go and do 5 gym classes a week when you're actually already doing none, right? So it's a big jump. Instead of doing something drastic like that is going to have a massive impact on your lifestyle, Aim for an extra 20 minutes of exercise every single day, right? Aim for 2,000 more steps every single day. You can always increase later on, but 20 minutes a day is much easier to fit into your lifestyle than 5 classes a week when you were going to none, right? And it's going to have a massive impact on your health almost instantly. Just add another 20 minutes in a day, 30 if you can, right? But deciding to go from nothing to 5 classes instantly, not going to be sustainable. Okay, that's that all or nothing approach that we're not going to see forever. And the last tip, number 3, for tonight is instead of cutting food groups altogether, which some people do, and that's okay. Like if you have to do it, then do it. But instead of cutting out all food groups, try focusing on adding more of the good stuff into your everyday. Where can you add more greens? Where can you add more veggies? Where can you add more vitamins and minerals? Where can you add more fruit, more water? Ladies, switch the mindset to start focusing on adding goodness rather than depriving the body, and then your brain will actually respond better to sustaining that positive habit. The body and the brain do not like deprivation. Don't tell me what I can't have. Don't tell me what I can't do. But if instead we switch that to, well, I can't have that, to adding good things into our diets, into our lifestyle, that makes a huge positive change for our brain. So what do you think, ladies? Which one of these might sound achievable for you? Let me know in the comments. If they sound achievable, drop an achieve in the comments. If you've got something different, let me know in the comments there too. Hi, Ali. Rachel's here. Vanessa's here. Hello, beautiful ladies. I'm going to pull up the comments. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah, achieve. Amazing. Good. There's so much here that we can do just to make those simple changes, yeah? Now, the second thing, because I said tonight I was going to give you 3 things, and I've given you 3 examples in the first part. Here's the second part, right? Another thing that we're doing that is killing our health goals is that part of going all in, all or nothing is consistency. Because when we go all or nothing, we actually can't maintain it consistently, right? So inconsistency happens when we try to build something into our current lifestyle that just doesn't fit, right? It creates more work to implement than we are actually capable of doing. And it also occurs when we are not connected to our goal enough to want to make it work. We don't make things a priority. We don't do things consistently when the end goal is just not that important to us. Now, I'm super curious, ladies. Who knows that their consistency in doing things is not where it could be? Who knows that, right? Who thinks their consistency levels are really low? I'm self-confessed. I'm an inconsistent person, right? I'm happy to admit that. I own it, right? That's who I am. I know my strengths. I can set my mind to big things and then get a little distracted and not stay consistently in flow with what I had set. And I've learned that that's okay, right? And I've also learned that I can work around it to my advantage, especially when it comes to my health. So this is how I did it, and it might work for you. I pick the things that have the biggest impact to do consistently. So I don't try and do everything anymore. I used to. But now I pick those things that are going to have the biggest impact. They're the things I do consistently. And now I never commit to anything that I know is going to be hard for me to do week after week, day after day, in and around my busy lifestyle as a working mum. For me and my health, my consistent things are, I go for a walk every single day. And that is not a calorie burn thing. That is a get outside, get some fresh air, get the body moving, get the brain functioning. Because I have my best ideas while I'm walking. I have my biggest to-do list while I'm walking. The brain is so much clearer and the rest of my day flows when I walk, right? That is one thing I do consistently. The other thing is I drink a protein shake or a protein water or something with a decent amount of protein in my fluid intake every single day, right? That's just something I can do consistently. Doesn't impact the rest of my day very much. I also drink my allocated water every day, so I have a bottle of water literally everywhere I go. Do not leave the house without water. My kids are the same, right? That's Just put that on them. And the other thing I do every day, I do consistently, is I eat the same breakfast pretty much every single day. Right? I know what goes in it. I know what the calorie balance is. I know what the proteins are. I know that it's good for me. I know I'm getting my serve of veggies. I feel good after it. I do not get bored, right? If I want to flavor it up, I'll put a little bit extra chili in it, or I'll put a little bit extra salt in it. It gets, for me, having that same breakfast every day means that I know I'm going to get my veggies in. So I have an omelette every day, and it's got spinach, it's got onions, it's got tomato. Some days I'll add avocado on the side, but I know without a doubt that if my day gets super busy or I get lazy and I don't want to cook veggies at nighttime, I at least know that my breakfast was loaded with spinach and greens, right? Some vitamins, some minerals, and I'm good. I'm not going to feel bad about not getting anything into my body. So that's why I have the same breakfast every day. I start the same way and I start healthy. So how do you get around your inconsistent tendencies? Do the same thing. Pick one or two things that you know you can fit into your busy lifestyle that actually will have an impact on your health and move you towards your goal. It doesn't have to be a big change. In fact, it can be super, super small and have the biggest impact on your results. And the smaller it is with the biggest impact on results, the more likely you are to make it a consistent habit. Hello, Elise. Hi, Kathy. Drop us a comment, guys, and let us know that you're here. Ladies, your habits, your changes for your health do not have to be big. It can be a glass of water to start the day. That has a massive impact. It could be a handful of spinach in your morning eggs like mine is. It could be using the stairs instead of the lift. That's a big one. I know people throw that one around all the time, but if every time you see a lift and you've got the option to go up the stairs, right, and you take that option, that is going to have a massive impact on your life. And if you're in a building where there's a lift and you have to walk 3 flights of stairs, do it. You won't regret doing it. Yeah. These are the sorts of things that you can do consistently without having a massive impact on your current lifestyle. And that is how we see things become new habits. That is how we actually reach our goals and stay at our goals, because it hasn't had a big impact on our current lifestyle. So I would love to hear in the comments, ladies, what is one thing that you can add in constantly, consistently, that improves your health, that moves you towards your goal and doesn't interrupt your current lifestyle? Drop me a note in the comments. What is it that you think you could add to your everyday that is not big, that seems too simple to have any impact? I promise it doesn't. But what is that? Speaking of, while you're doing that, I'm going to have a glass of water and I'm going to read your comments. Hi, Meg. Starting one class at a time? Absolutely. I think that's a great one, Meg, if you like doing classes. I'm actually starting a new habit this week, and that is doing Pilates. I'm going to do Pilates 3 times a week, and non-negotiable, because I go to the gym anyway, right? So my non-negotiable is that now on Monday mornings, I'm going to be doing Pilates on a Monday morning, right? I'm going to be at the gym anyway because I go, so I'm adding Pilates in at the end of my workout instead of a walk. I'm just going to see what impact that has, and it's not impacting my current lifestyle because I'm at the gym anyway, right? It's a different workout to do. It's going to tailor different muscles, but it's something different that I can do and have a bigger impact on my health. All right, so the last thing, the third thing that we tend to do that is actually killing our health goals is to do what everyone else is doing, yeah, and comparing ourselves accordingly. When we think that just because something worked for someone else, that it should work for us. We've been there, right? But that's not necessarily true. We spend so much time comparing our results, our size, our shape to other women that we rarely take the time to actually see what we need or think about what we really want. I'm going to have the hiccups. Sorry, ladies. I'm trying to hold a hiccup down. We aspire to a size, a shape, or a weight without acknowledging why we want it. And that is actually killing our health goals and also our health. So the one thing that we need to do is stop comparing ourselves to other women and doing all the things that they're doing to reach their health goals. Now, you know what I'm talking about, yeah? You watch your sister lose 10 kilos doing keto, so you give it a go, and it sucks. Keto sucks, right? You hate it. You don't lose any weight. Why? Because you hate it, because it's not for you. And now it's not sustainable, right? Doesn't mean you are a failure. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means keto is not for you. And it's not super sustainable, by the way, keto. There is like a minor percent of people who can live on keto constantly for a long period of time, right? So that's just a little side note. Then you see your best friend, right? She's looking healthier than she has for a long time. She's doing those 5 HIIT classes a week at the gym. That must be the key, right? That must be the key. But that's not sustainable for you, because in your lifestyle, you're running around with kids and their sport, and your husband does shift work and you work full time. So it's not sustainable. So what? What am I supposed to do now, right? How you get defeated. You get defeated. You start to think that nothing works. You wonder, how many times have you actually just stopped and asked yourself, why do you want to lose that weight? Why do you want to reach a certain size? Why do you have that health goal? I wonder, have you actually asked yourself that question? Because if you haven't, that's something I actually want you to do now. Why do you want that goal? Whatever your health goal is for this year or this week or this month, why do you want it? What is it that you are going to feel? What is it that you are going to do? What is it that you are going to be when you hit that goal? Let me tell you this. Someone else's goal and someone else's journey will not make you happy, period. Right? You have to set your own goal, and you have to know why you're setting it. Hi, Haley. Will losing 10 kilos give you more energy? If so, it might. If so, then why not just aim for more energy now with simple and manageable strategies that you can fit into your current lifestyle now? Why wait until you lose 10 kilos to feel that increase in energy? Will being a size 8 make you feel fit and lean and strong? If so, then why not aim for feeling fit and lean and strong now? And enjoy doing the things that bring that on faster than reaching a specific dress size. Why are we not enjoying that journey now of feeling fit and lean and strong? Will a certain weight bring you more confidence? If so, why is that? And then get really curious, ladies. Why am I not confident now? And what can you do to change that immediately that is not tied to a number on the scale? Deep thoughts tonight. I hope you've got something to take away and think about, because someone else's goal, someone else's health journey is not yours. And this is what is killing our ability to reach and maintain our health goals. Many of us actually struggle to reach our goal and stay there because we have not defined why we want it. So sit for a moment this week and ask yourself, why do I want that goal? What will it make me feel? What will it make me do? What will it make me be? And then decide, can I have this without the unnecessary struggle of doing too much, of being inconsistent, of yo-yo dieting and trying to do too much within the lifestyle that I currently have? I'm going to tell you, you can. And I know this based on fact and work that we've done and all those sorts of things. Like, I've seen it happen time and time and time again with hundreds of women. You can. You just have to be willing to see a different way to get there with simpler strategies, with more consistency and the ability to build it into your lifestyle so that it becomes sustainable for the rest of your life, which in turn, ladies, will actually see you getting to where you want to be, staying where you want to be, or even getting further beyond, right? And never returning back to that square one that we always find ourselves at after we achieve a health goal. So I would love to know if you've got any questions for me at this point. Drop them below. I can see Tracy's watching. I can see Jennifer's watching. Diana's here. Hello. Even if you're watching on replay, drop your comments or questions below and we'll pop back and answer them during the week. Yeah, when we see them, we'll drop in an answer. Melinda says absolutely comparing herself to others. Yeah, it's a big one. We do it naturally, but we need to catch ourselves doing it so that we can stop it. Yeah. If you are someone who needs a little help to see her own goals, right? To start stepping away from the comparison journey, to start stepping away from trying what everyone else is doing, or to actually see how you can fit the important things into your busy lifestyle with simplicity and consistency, can you let me know? Flick me a message. Let's have a chat. We'll see what we can come up with together for you. Because at the end of the day, the world is a happier place when us women are happy. Come on, don't we know that one? Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. I promise you, ladies, when we take away the all or nothing approach to our health and wellness, and we break it down and we simplify it into the little things that we can do that have a big impact, and there are lots of them, we feel better, we feel more accomplished, we feel more successful, and we really start to move towards that goal that we want to achieve. We need to get out of that typical female brain of overcomplicating everything, simplify it, and build those beautiful habits. All right, ladies, I can't see any questions in the chat, so that's it for tonight. But please, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below, even on replay. Hashtag replay if you are watching replay. Hashtag live if you're still here with me. Drop me a star if you're watching as well. We do love the stars if you can drop one of those in here as well. Ladies, thank you for joining me on this very cold Sunday night here in Adelaide. Have an amazing week. As always, we're here to answer your questions. And I really do wonder, can you sit and think about why you actually want your goal? And what are some of the simple things that you can do starting tomorrow? Maybe it's just one thing you can add into your beautiful, busy lifestyle that is going to have a massive impact on your health and wellness. All right, gorgeous ladies, have an amazing week. Bye.